If you are really serious about passing your OET exam in the next 30 days, then this video is for you. I am going to share the exact strategies you need for a fast pass that we have learned from teaching thousands of OET students over the years at Swoosh English. If you're not committed to your OET preparation, you can stop watching this video right now. But I think if you're here, you're probably one of the ones who is capable of passing your exam in 30 days. So let me show you how. We're going to prepare for OET in 4 steps. Step 1 is to build foundations and assess your current level. First, you need to familiarize yourself with the OET exam by looking at past papers and understanding what is required of you. When you are looking at the past papers, you're going to ask yourself the following questions. How long is each subtest? How many questions are there? What type of questions or tasks are there? And what is the assessment criteria? Once you've done this, it's time to assess your current level by taking a readiness test, and you can do this with a Swoosh English course. After taking the readiness test, you need to look at where you got a low score and make a note of these areas. This means you can begin your exam preparation knowing the areas of strength and then the areas that will need a little bit more of your time and attention in order to improve. Don't skip this first step. It's very important to know where you're starting from and how much work is needed to get to where you need to be. Moving on to step 2, which is targeted practice. You need to learn essential strategies for each subtest. For example, time management. This is going to be especially important in the reading and writing tests. Reading skills, skimming and scanning. It is essential that you develop and practice your skimming and scanning skills so that you can have the best chance of getting a high score. Listening skills, knowing how and when to listen for gist or specific information or detail. Inferring meaning of unfamiliar vocabulary. This is a very important skill because it is possible in the reading test especially that you will encounter vocabulary that you don't know. So you need a strategy to be able to deal with this. And identifying keywords. This is a strategy that you will use in reading and listening, and it is a very important strategy that you need to spend some time developing. Next, you need to break down the assessment criteria for speaking and writing. Ask yourself, what is the examiner looking for? And how can I demonstrate this in my letter or in the role play? Having a good understanding of all the assessment criteria for speaking and writing and getting plenty of practice demonstrating each one will give you the best possible chance of getting that high score that you need. So make sure you do not neglect the assessment criteria. Next, remember that readiness test you took at the beginning? Make sure that you're really focusing your time and attention on your weaker areas. If you got a low score in reading, ensure you spend sufficient time developing and practicing your reading skills. However, this does not mean that you should neglect the other areas. Even if you feel relatively confident in your speaking skills, it's still important to dedicate some time to doing practice role plays to ensure that you do get the score that you need on exam day. So focus on weaker areas, but never neglect the other skills. Now, during this second step of targeted practice, it is essential that you stay motivated and focused. Don't forget why you're doing this. Visualize success and how happy you will feel when you have passed your OET exam with flying colours after just 30 days. So motivation and staying focused is really important during this step. Moving on now to step 3, which is to take practice tests and receive expert feedback. Make sure that you are taking practice tests under exam conditions. This means giving yourself the time that will be allowed in the real OET test, not using a dictionary or getting help of any kind, and trying to simulate exam conditions as much as possible. After taking reading and listening tests, review the answers, Look at the ones you got wrong and ask yourself, why was this answer incorrect? Analyze the text or the audio again and make sure you can identify exactly why you went wrong. Watching post-exam analysis videos can really help with this step, and if you're looking for those kinds of resources, you can find them in a Swoosh English preparation course. After doing speaking and writing practice tests, make sure that you get feedback from an expert teacher. Look at your feedback and ask yourself, what did I do well? What do I need to improve? And how can I improve in this area? Remember to focus on the assessment criteria during this stage. After taking the practice tests and analysing your answers and feedback, repeat. With each practice test, you should see an improvement in your scores. If you are really analysing your mistakes and focusing on improving in your weaker areas, using the feedback from your teacher, you should see a really fast improvement. Moving on to step 4, which is final preparation. Once you have developed your skills and you're getting the scores that you need in your practice tests, you're ready to take the exam. Step 4 involves some final preparations to ensure that you are ready for exam day. Let's first look at some mental preparation, because this is a very important step that you do not want to miss. Learn some relaxation techniques to help you manage nerves, such as meditation, breathing, or some mindfulness strategies. Review the exam strategies, but do not cram. So the night before the exam, you should not be revising or reviewing your notes. You should be focusing on relaxing and getting a good night's sleep. Make your test day preparations. Ensure you know exactly what you need to take to the exam room, the schedule, so the time your exam is and when you'll be leaving your house to get there on time, and of course, visualize success. After all that preparation, you should be ready to take your exam, so make yourself feel more confident by actually visualizing the success that you will achieve. Think about how confident you will feel on exam day and how happy you will feel when you have passed that exam with flying colours. Now, passing exam is about mental preparation as much as anything else, so please don't skip this step. Make sure that you have learnt some relaxation techniques, you've practiced visualizing success, you're not cramming the night before the exam, and you are nice and prepared to help you feel calm and confident when you walk into the exam. Remember that the amount of time you need to prepare for the OET exam will depend on your current level and your desired scores, as well as the amount of time you can realistically dedicate each day to exam preparation. If you're starting from a lower level and you don't really have much time each week to commit to exam preparation, you might take a little bit more than 30 days. But don't worry, because you can still use this 4-step strategy. It will just take a little bit longer. So as we've mentioned, the final step is to book your OET exam. But how do you know when you are actually ready to do this? This video here has all the answers, so why not check that one out next?